Mr. Limada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining me today. Well, happy Friday to you all, and indeed Veterans Day as we observe. Thank you to everybody that has served, and we're here together today to enjoy another story. Thank you for being here, and I hope that you are well wherever you are, and I hope that you're ready, to enjoy a wonderful story. Please, as always, let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you today. We do have a wonderful book that highlights one of perhaps the most well-known animals out there, but also misunderstood. And this one is called The Great White Shark, and it is written by Clair, Saxby, illustrations by Cindy Lane, and we are reading it with permission of the publishers, Candlewick Press. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you're ready for this one, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for being here. Where are you? How is it today where you are? Thank you so much for joining us indeed here on Storytime. And we'll be reading a little bit more about great white sharks in a little bit. But of course, before then, we just want to say good morning to you, whether you're joining us live right now or indeed joining us later on for the recordings. And remember, too, that you can find Storytime at storytimewithmrlimada.com, at Storytime with Mr. Limada right here on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime today. And I love it that we're here together, and lots and lots to go through. And what is this animal that we're reading about? What fascinates us so much? Well, we'll be finding out very, very shortly. Thank you so much for joining in. Hey, good morning, Jacob. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. And you say, yes, morning ingredients. I love it. Ari, thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Morning ingredients, indeed. You are here and you're part of those ingredients that make Storytime special. Thank you so much, Ari, for coining that one for us here on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate it. Good to see you here. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And yes, good morning to you. I'm glad that you're here with us today on Storytime. And I must say too, took me a second to see the full name written out, Jacob, and it took me a second to register who it was. Welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in today. Thank you indeed, and welcome. I hope that you're well out there in Kentucky. Thank you for joining in Storytime. Great White Shark coming right up, and we'll be reading that one. And remember, too, that next week we'll bring you another exciting collection of books, and I cannot wait to share that one with you all. Thank you indeed for being here with us. Pamela Courtney, thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And of course, Chad, thank you for joining in. He's saying happy Friday, everyone, from soggy Natchitoches, Louisiana. Well, thank you indeed for being here. Glad you made it. And it sounds like that soggy day needs a book to make it better. Thank you so much for joining us here together, Chad and Auntie Pam out there in Natchitoches, Louisiana. And we'll be getting started very shortly with this one, Great White Shark written by Clair, Saxby, illustrations by Cindy Lane. Thank you so much for joining in today. And we're reading this one with permission of the publishers, Candlewick Press. Thank you indeed for joining in. Please join me on the other side of this short break when we're back with more story time. Thank you indeed for joining us, and I'll see you on the other side.
Hello, I'm Brianna Carzu, the author and illustrator of Lou, and you're watching Storytime with Mr. Lamada.
Welcome back indeed. Thank you so much, Brianna Kazoo, author of Lou, and we know that a brand new book is out as well, and that one is called Green Light. So go and check it out at your local library. Next time you're at your local library, ask for both Lou and Green Light and get to enjoy them more. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Yes, I hope that you are great wherever you are. Thank you for joining in one more time. Jake, Ari, and of course Auntie Pam and Chad, thank you for being here with us on Storytime. Remember to drop us a message if you're here so we can say hi to you. And if you join us later on for the recordings, well, please do the same. Leave us a message so we can say hi to you right back and know how you are doing. And let us know how you like the stories. And of course, send in your recommendations as well. Here we go. Great White Shark, written by Clair, Saxby, illustrations by Cindy Lane, and being read with permission of the publishers, Candlewick Press. Here we go. Great White Shark. Who's that? I love the reflection of the water there, of the light in the water on the shark, on the shark's skin. Great White Shark, written by Clair Saxby, illustrations by Cindy Lane, and read with permission of the publishers, Candlewick Press. From above, her charcoal skin blends in with the dark depths of the ocean. Yeah, can you see her? Female great white sharks grow about as long as a giraffe is tall and may weigh more than a long car. They have a strong, lightweight skeleton and tiny tooth-like scales. Yeah. From above, her charcoal skin blends in with the dark depths of the ocean. Female great white sharks grow about as long as a giraffe is tall and may weigh more than a large car. They have a strong, lightweight skeleton and tiny tooth-like scales. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. Happy Friday to you. From below, her white belly floats pale against the sky. Great white sharks are mostly loners and roam widely across oceans. Great white sharks are mostly loners and roam widely across oceans. These illustrations are so beautiful, aren't they? The great white shark swims on. Her tail sways side to side. Her fins keep her balanced. She travels the fast lane where she can. She travels the fast lane where she can, cruising invisible seaways. What is she looking for? She's looking for food. Oh, she is silent and powerful. She's a silent and powerful submarine and follows her own maps. Great white sharks have a sixth sense called electroreception. This allows them to detect prey and to navigate. Isn't that cool? I want to have electroreception too. Is that a superpower you would want to have? Electroreception. Great white sharks have a sixth sense called electroreception. This allows them to detect prey and to navigate. The great white shark swims on, her tail sways side to side. Her fins keep her balanced. She travels the fast lane where she can, cruising invisible seaways. What is she looking for? She's looking for food. She is silent. She is a silent and powerful submarine and follows her own map. In her belly, 7 pups grow. Female great white sharks will have between 2 and 10 pups in a litter. She circles an island where this year's fur seal pups are learning to swim. There are other sharks here, but she mostly ignores them. The water is cool and her body temperature adjusts so she can stay warm. Warmer muscles mean more power and more speed. This is particularly important when hunting. She quiets all senses alert. There, a dawdling pup. She surges fast, too fast for the pup to see her until it is too late. Like cheetahs, great white sharks are fast and powerful hunters. As the fur seals grow faster and smarter, the great white shark travels north. She swims steadily, hour after hour. It's a long journey, but she remembers the way. She's trekking to warmer waters that teem with fish. Her pups will thrive there. Oh, that's why you're going up there. Great white sharks have 2 types of muscles. One type for slow swimming, the other for the short, powerful strikes on prey. They can travel up to 50 miles, 80 kilometers per day. That's quite a long way to go. Did you know that? Great white sharks have 2 types of muscles. One type for slow swimming, the other for short, powerful strikes on prey. They can travel up to 50 miles, 80 kilometers per day. Yeah. A shadow passes overhead. It could be a carcass, a meal. She doesn't need to hunt. She bites, spits it out. Great white sharks' taste buds are thought to identify only food or not food. Sharks have many rows of sharp teeth, serrated teeth, but cannot chew. That's why if your boat is up there, they may think it's food and attack even when they don't mean to. The shadow passes overhead. It could be a carcass, a meal. She doesn't need to hunt. She bites, spits it out. Great white sharks' taste buds are thought to identify only food or not food. Sharks have many rows of sharp serrated teeth, but cannot chew. She alters her path, follows a scent only she can smell, movements only she can feel. Great white sharks can smell live prey from far away. She gathers, explodes upward. She gathers, explodes upwards, seizes a turtle. She bites, swallows. Her bite is stronger than that of a lion. Bite is stronger than that of a lion. She digests her meal as she journeys on. When she is done, she vomits what she can't use. Nature is so amazing, isn't it? Great white sharks can turn their stomach almost inside out to expel bones and shell fragments. Imagine that. How cool is that? Yeah. She digests her meal as she journeys on. When she is done, she vomits what she can't use. Great white sharks can turn their stomach almost inside out to expel bones and shell fragments. Unseen, somewhere far from shore, she births her pups. Very little is known about where great white sharks give birth. Pups at birth may be up to 5 feet, 1.5 meters in length, and must immediately look after themselves. Isn't that amazing too? Very little is known about where great white sharks give birth. Pups at birth may be up to 5 feet, 1.5 meters in length, and must immediately look after themselves. Imagine that. Right from the get-go. Let's go. If you find her pups, you will not find her. She is gone. Is she looking for you? No, never. And that's something to read about, to learn about, and see. And I think it's been said that because of the movie Jaws, great white sharks get this, this scary. People are scared of them because of that. Yeah. I'm losing my vocabulary. I can't remember the word I wanted to use. If you find her pups, you will not find her. She is gone. Is she looking for you? No, never. She is gone. Oh, and that is the end of our story. But I'll just read the back matter just really quickly. There's a bit of information here in the back as well for us. Information about great white sharks. And I'll get to share some more too. Sharks are one of the oldest creatures on our planet. They have roamed our oceans for millions of years. Great white sharks are among the largest ocean predators, second only to killer whales. Though there are larger sharks. They have no permanent home and traverse temperate and tropical waters, but may return annually to favorite hunting grounds. They grow slowly and have relatively long lifespans, 40 years or more for females and 70 years or more for males. Young great white sharks have narrow teeth and feed on fish and rays. When they are about 10 feet, 3 meters in length, their teeth become wider with serrated edges. The diet also alters to include dolphins, sea lions, and turtles. Despite widespread fear, humans are more likely to be struck by lightning than attacked by a great white shark. Sharks have much more to fear from humans: ocean pollution, illegal hunting, commercial fishing, and shark nets. Yeah, so many things, right? Just a little bit to think about in there. And so I hope that this gets us into diving more, reading more, researching more about great white sharks. And I will be right back after this short break. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime today. Thank you indeed for being here today.
Hello, I'm Olalu Ogunyemi, officer in the United States Marine Corps and author of Crow from the Shadow. You are tuned in with my brother on Storytime with Mr. Lamada. Enjoy and God bless.
Thank you so much. Welcome back to Storytime indeed. And thank you, Ola Olu Ogunyemi. Thank you indeed for your service. And thank you to all that have served and, on this Veterans Day today. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Where are you? How are you doing today? And yes, we've been reading a little bit about the great white shark. And I do have some more information here that I wanted to share with you all. Let me see if I can get that information up for you right now. There we go. Just something to think about. Great white shark. How about that scientific name? Cacharius. There you go. Type fish. And there we go. All these other details. And I'm fascinated by that lifespan too. That is a really long life. And we did read in the book, it says females can live up to 40 plus years and 70 plus for the males. So there you go. And there is also just the relative size, so we can kind of relate to regular bus to how long these sharks can grow. And there you go. And also, I was looking up some other information on here too, and there's just lots and lots of fascinating information that we have from National Geographic, and they are so of the different. There's the different animals on the endangered animals list, right? So you have all the different stages, and for sharks, they're considered to be near. Let me get that correctly. They're vulnerable. They're considered to be vulnerable, and that is the third step in that, because you have extinction at the very far end, but before that you have least concern, and then you have near threatened, which are likely to become vulnerable in the near future, and then vulnerable, like our shark today, are ones that are at high risk of extinction in the wild. So just something to remember. And then the next step after that would be endangered, and then you have critically endangered, and then extinct in the wild, and then you get to extinct where there isn't much information or any sightings or any known to be alive out there. So let's remember that these animals need to be protected, especially from illegal fishing and all things that happen. We know that there's people hunt them for their fins, for different things, right? So let's make sure too that we make ourselves aware of the different conservation efforts that are going on out there, and see how we can participate as well, and just learn a lot more about these animals. And maybe if we're not so afraid of them, then we get to see why we need to protect them and how we can play a part. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today, and I'm glad that we're here together indeed. And there's lots and lots of information out there, and one of the things that I liked too is like unlike humans, shark teeth grow for as long as they live. Unlike us, who you have a certain, the baby teeth, they go away, and then you have your permanent teeth that come in, and that's it. But for sharks, for great white sharks, they will keep growing until, and they'll, even if they lose teeth, they'll keep growing some more until they die. So yeah, and then there was one fact in here too that I thought was pretty cool. I thought I should share that one. Yeah, it said, did you know that great white sharks is the largest predatory shark on Earth? Yeah. And then great white sharks have a bit more than 20 times, have a bite more than 20 times stronger than a human. So think of your bite, your strongest bite, and multiply that 20 times. Great white sharks great white shark mothers give birth up to 17 pups at a time. And that's a lot. We learned in the book, it was saying 7 to 10, but we know that they can go up to 17 pups. That's a lot. And then at birth, a great white shark pup can already be up to about 6 feet long, and we saw that in the book as well. It mentions it being up to about 5.5 feet or 1.5 meters long at birth. So yeah, a little bit more to just read about these fascinating animals, and there's conservation efforts in there too. If you look up this article on National Geographic, and of course many other, we can find many other reliable sources out there as well. And so yeah, let's definitely look at that and get to read more information. So I'm just putting that in the chat, in the comments there, so you can get to read some more about them. And I'm sure you'll be able to find more information out there. And please feel free to share it with us as well. Thank you so much for joining in here on Storytime. Good morning to you, Susan. Good to see you here on Storytime. How have you been? I hope that you've been well. It's a Shark Week at Storytime. Indeed, maybe that is an idea we should do, Susan. I love that idea. Maybe that's what we should do. Indeed, bring in and just bring in all of that research and just get to learn more about these amazing creatures. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And it didn't say too, we're talking about Jaws being one movie that has, altered the way we look at these animals, but it was saying that even though people were afraid of sharks, in 2022, the whole year, only 5 people were killed by sharks. So just gets to show you how far and how few and far between these encounters can be. So let's get that information and let's play our part in the conservation efforts. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Good to see you, Susan. Thank you for joining in. I hope you're enjoying a day off as well. And of course, yes, thank you to all the veterans out there, all those who served. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Glad we were here. Thank you. One more time, let us see who was with us this morning, ready to enjoy that wonderful story and hopefully picked up a thing or two. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, most importantly, thank you for being here with us this morning, for being a part of the community, for being a part of those morning ingredients that we need here on Storytime to be complete, to make it better. Thank you. You are part of those ingredients. Our books are part of those ingredients. Our creators are part of those ingredients. And of course, to just everybody who's here with us, your good vibes that you bring to this space every single day. We appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Jake, one more time, thank you for joining us here on Storytime. And of course, to you, Ari, as well. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us out there in Kentucky. Thank you for being here indeed. And out in Natchitoches, Louisiana, it is soggy today. Well, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed that story. Chad and Auntie Pam, thank you for joining us. And you saying happy Friday to everybody that is joining in Storytime. Well, happy Friday to you. And Kate as well, Kathy, happy Friday to you as well. Thank you so much for joining in here on Storytime. I was almost saying Kathy and Keith at the same time. Kate. Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. And of course, you're saying good morning to you, Ari. Hi, Ari. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And of course, Susan, Adrian, thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. I hope you're well. I hope the rest of the day is beautiful for you and is kind to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And this is the article I was mentioning about, just a few tips, a few bits about the great white shark. So go on ahead, jump on that later on, do some research. And of course, if you go to the local library, remember to pull out some books today and read more, and hopefully share too with me whatever you come across and whatever you find, so we can bring that information here to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in. Have yourselves a wonderful Friday. Thank you to all that have served. And of course, we'll see you again back here on Storytime on Monday with another great lineup. So look out over the weekend to see what's coming. But we'll be back next week with another fantastic lineup of books from amazing creators. And of course, always a big thank you to all the publishing houses, all the publishers, independent publishers out there that allow us to share so many wonderful books here on Storytime. Until Monday, this has been Storytime for today. This has been Storytime for this wonderful week. This has been Storytime on this Friday morning. Thank you so much for joining in. Hugs to each and every one of you, and I will catch you again on Monday. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Story time. Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.